Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Basically, in this video, I'm going to look at all the skins in the current Rust store, make some comparisons to previous Rust store skins, to get a good idea in regards to, well, how much are each of these skins likely to sell by next Thursday, and then knowing that, we'll then question, are these skins still holding up to being perfectly fine investments? Are there any potential problems that you need to be aware of? So sit back, relax, I'm going to start yapping. Right then, so first 24 hours of sales, and it's all right. It's pretty impressive with the top two selling skins right here. Not Friendly Clan Garage Door with over 10,000 subscribers, followed by the anime theme Popstar Thompson. Then it drops off a fair bit with the hoodie and pants here, and then over to here it's quite compact with the Señor Tomato Door, Deep Ruby Tools, and Ultramarine Locker with around 5,000 subscribers each, and then at the bottom the Adobe Wood Door. So, yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's not, like, dramatically down low. It's actually kind of looking a little bit better compared to previous weeks in terms of average sales. So, all right, that's cool. But, how much are they likely to sell by next week? Well, that's what we're here for. Now, just to point out, I am recording this a fair bit later. So that's the actual 48 hours of sales, as you can see right there. And, yeah, they did progress quite nicely. And, of course, let's now showcase to you what it is currently. So, just a few hours later compared to 48 hours. But overall, things are looking pretty alright, pretty okay. But I did say in my Rust rotation video and my predictions video, you know what? Feeling a little bit hesitant here. Wouldn't be surprised if every single skin does go below its Rust price, and I still stand by that point. So, regardless, let's jump in now. Let's go ahead and figure out how much each of these are likely to sell by next week, and then we'll consider what happens next. Right then, Not Friendly Clan Garage Door. So this has sold quite a fair bit, and I am cautious about that. Just to remind all of you, garage doors that came out this year, oh, they're doing great, aren't they? Oh dear. Yep, so that's just the state of garage doors in general now. They just don't seem to hold up very nicely. Now, of course, it is currently April now, and it usually is this period of time in which we see a lot of skins go down in price. What will this look like when it's the summer of 2025? Well, we've got another 2 months to go, I guess you could say. So, all right then. There's no need to be so pessimistic. At the very least, let's now go ahead and figure out how much this is likely to sell by next week. So, just over 10,000 subscribers, and I think the best shout is to compare to the Arctic Backpack. That also had just over 10,000 subscribers. Now, of course, the garage door did sell a fair bit more. But I feel like we can just, of course, generalise a fair bit. So the Arctic Backpack, of course, almost reached 21,000 subscribers, and I feel like it's a perfectly fine position. So in regards to the garage door, I'll say 20 to 23,000 subscribers. 30? Oh, Hedge. Anyway, so with that, with the way it's progressed as of recent, I mean, maybe it does go more towards the latter in regards to about 23,000 subscribers. Either way, I don't think it's retaining its price. I can see a lot of people appreciating the design. I know it's very funny, goofy. You just turn up to a new area. We're not friendly. We're not here to make friends. We're here to make your life a living hell. I would like to see the friendly garage door being accepted at some point in the future. But overall, yeah, I'm still concerned. And with the amount of garage doors we've had so far this year, and the many more that will appear afterwards in the future, I'm not sure if it's going to work out nicely. Now, as much as you can sit here and say, but it's got a collection. Yeah, it's called Two Wooden Doors. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some more. So keep an eye on the workshop from Mr. Verona, and we'll see what happens next. So, okay, that's a pretty straightforward start. Let's now talk about the Popstar Thompson. So this is the third Popstar weapon skin to be accepted. Have we seen the AK rise up anymore after we saw this first being accepted back on Thursday? And I've got to be honest with you, it's not doing too bad because it has reached back up to its Rust price. Buyers have improved a fair bit. Could this potentially keep on rising now as we approach the summertime? Well, maybe we'll see some more Popstar skins being produced and accepted. So, okay, back over to here. Let's now talk specifically about the Thompson. So that did quite a decent amount of sales as well. But of course, if we want to be specific, let's go back over to here and figure that out. So 9,000 subscribers. Is there anything that was fairly close? And I think we do have a good answer. We could talk about the Black Ops Revolver. Now, if you can remember, I recorded this just a little bit too late, like 2 hours later. So I always refer to it as like a 9,000 subscriber skin. So I think we could just take a quick look at this and see how that ended up at. So over to here, if we could go all the way back to the March 4 swipe Rust Door rotation, and what do we see? A Block Ops Revolver with just over 20,000 subscribers. Now, in this regard, I will look at the Thompson and say, I reckon that would probably do between 18 to 21,000 subscribers, which is still quite a fair bit. Please be aware of that. Like, all the Thompsons we've seen over, like, the past year, I think on average they did, like, 15,000 subscribers. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty rough generalization. We recently had the Abyss Thompson, that did over 21,000 subscribers, and now we have this Popstar Thompson, which could potentially reach up to 21,000 subscribers, so, seems to be a bit different this year. But then again, Abyss Collection's fairly in demand. Popstar, well, I think there's a lot of people out there that just can't say no to the anime girl on a weapon skin. An evil one. So over to here. That seems to be okay. I mean, it is one of the Thompsons that's going to potentially sell quite a fair bit. Like, let me just also point this out. Thompsons in general, highest subscriber counts. Let's give it a good look. So if this was to potentially do just over 20,000 subscribers, where will it end up at? Well, in the upper top 10 maybe. Ooh, okay then. Well, Thompsons still get appreciated as of today. It's a bit 50-50 at the moment. But like I said, it is April. A lot of skins have gone down to new low points so far this year. As we get closer to the summer, things might have a nice little turnaround. So, okay, fair enough. Let's now talk about Black Paladin Clothing, so the hoodie and the pants. Together, $4. Now, that might sound a little bit iffy, but it is selling quite nicely. It's not like selling next to nothing, so, okay. And it could be the beginnings of a brand new collection. But we're not seeing anything for a while because of Easter. So, okay, let's go back over to here and question everything. Okay. So that did 6,000 subscribers each. Do we have anything that we can compare to? Could look at the B Metal Door. Is there anything else that we could also compare to? Any other clothing and armor? No, nothing. Well, I mean, you could look at Ultramarine. That did 6,400, 6,300. Might be a little bit too much, but should be right. So, okay, let's go give this a good look. With the previous week's B Metal Door, which technically speaking only had like 6 days and a bit as, being part of Rust Door, that still did just over 13,000 subscribers, so okay, that's looking pretty alright. And if we could just go a little bit further back, here we have the Ultramarine boots and gloves. Well, that went all the way up to 14,000 subscribers. So I reckon we'll sit here and say 12 to 14,000 subscribers for these skins. Maybe it goes all the way up to 14, maybe it stops at around 12. Either way, I can imagine that's going to at least reach 12,000 subscribers. Now, it doesn't really matter too much about how much this sells. It's more of a case of how much does the next potential core piece sell for. So core pieces are referred to as Tier 2, Tier 3, and hoodie and pants. You could also consider boots and gloves. Fair enough. But if we do see a new core piece or boots and gloves being accepted for this, I mean, it's going to spike in price. Doesn't matter. But if the Tier 3 or Tier 2 or boots and gloves sell less than what this sells for, this might end up suffering because of it. So we'll see how it goes. Keep an eye on the workshop for Mr. Kit's workshop, as you can see over here. But we do have Easter in the way. And, oh, look, he made chicken soup. Okay, that's pretty funny. But yeah, we've got to wait and see. So, all right then, fair enough. Señor Tomato Door. Now, if I could just quickly hop back over to here. I did say this a little bit earlier. All of these are fairly similar. 5,500, then it's 5,100, 5,000, and then 5,000. I mean, Señor Tomato Door, okay, I will still differentiate you. So if I were to just, like, look at some past skins, what could I consider? I don't know why I left this bit, sorry. I'm thinking. Wait, hang on a minute. Yeah, we had the clan-based door, 5,200. But, is there any other deplorable? I mean, I could also probably look at the Fallen hoodie and pants at 5,400. Okay, yeah, you know what, this might be alright. So let's go over to here. Let's hop out of here. Go to the 4-swipe Rust Door for March, and if I could just look at those hoodie and pants, that did just under 12,000 subscribers, and that door did 10,200 subscribers. Okay, Right, so I'm looking at this, and I'm having to make a consideration. I mean, it's not that far off from these two, and I thought that was going to do between 12 to 14,000 subscribers. So I think for this Señor Tomato Door, I think I'm going to do 11 to 13,000 subscribers, alright? That's what I'm considering. I know there's a hammer in the workshop as well, but we still have Easter in the way. So, I don't know. Are there enough people that want to buy a door that doesn't glow in the dark? Now, you might sit there and say, oh, is that like the end-all be-all? Well, I mean, no, not really. Not everybody desperately needs a glow-in-the-dark door, but they could always have one that looks funny and goofy and makes them smile. So, okay. 11 to 13,000 subscribers is quite alright. So now let's talk about these three skins right here. Deep Ruby Tools and Ultramarine Locker. Now, in regards to tools, I've already said this. When it comes to pickaxe skins and hatchet skins, they always tend to go down to $1. It's quite unfortunate, but it keeps happening. So, and then over to here, the hatchets, just to follow that up, as you can see. But that Ultramarine Locker, I was making quite a fuss sitting here and saying that if that doesn't sell that much, I mean, it could pretty much have an instant great time because this collection is in demand. And as I said just a little bit earlier, prices should be down pretty badly at the moment. Does that look like it's struggling, suffering? Do you see it? No? So, okay. How much are you likely to sell along with these two? Let's go ahead and figure this out right now. So, you did just about 5,000, all three of you. Do we have a nice straightforward match? Oh, we got these two skins right here, Blackstone and B-Rock. All right then, let's go back over to there. Let's go and see how they performed. So that Sheep with a Door, that did 11,700, and the B-Rock did 11,300. Now, that was also very similar to the clan-based door, wasn't it? So, I think what I'm going to say is, also take into consideration looking at it right now. I mean, I think it's going to be 10 to 12,000 subscribers. I think that's what I'm going to land on. So in regards to tools, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to make that much of a difference. But for that locker, that Ultramarine locker, first of all, out of all these skins, which ones sold the least? Let's go ahead and find that out. So lowest subscriber counts. It is the chest plate with 10,600 subscribers. That is now selling for $8.88. Yep. We also have the small box, 11,500 subscribers. That now sells for $6. Yep. So, yeah, that's looking pretty appealing, that locker right now. Yep. Do you understand what I'm saying? The collection is keeping itself up. And if that's what it is right now, $2.49 in April, what about the summer? Do you reckon all of Ultramarine might rise up in price quite nicely as we approach the summertime? Also, take into consideration, how often are you even using lockers? All right, hold on. You know what? That's a good point. We should question that. Feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And then if you take a look at all the locker skins we've seen as of recent, are they doing all right at the moment? Well, Beauty Industry is only down by 4%. That's a holiday theme skin, and it's only down by 21%. Forest Raiders is starting to improve. Last year's Neon Lockers, they've stopped going down in price. That's a positive thing to say. But yeah, I think it could still get carried quite nicely. That's looking to be pretty interesting. And when I did my predictions video, that was quite literally the reason why I pointed that out as the first thing. That right there is looking to be in a very, very interesting spot. So now with a sheer lack of sales potentially, only better for us investors. So that'll probably be the thing I prioritise chasing next week with the abnormal borders. But for now, let's now talk about the very last skin, the Adobe Wood Door. So that's a wooden door. So by default, what's Hedge going to say? Wouldn't be surprised if it ends up going below 90 cents or around 90 cents. That's the answer. So many skins go below $1, and they usually end up at around 90 cents. So 85 cents, 88 cents, 70 cents, 82 cents, $1.84. Okay, that one's doing a little bit better. But then 83 cents, 86 cents. Point made? Yeah. Anyway, go back over to here. Let's figure out how much that's likely to sell by the end of the week. 4,476 subscribers. Do we have anything that compares? We could probably look at the previous week's Cryo Fridge and Factory New Sap. But then again, that wasn't in a rust off for that long, was it? But yeah, I think that could still be a reasonable thing to compare to. So hopping back over to here, looking at these two skins, what do I see? 10,000 and just under 10,000. I think I probably should look at some other weeks as well, just to be safe. So looking around, what do I see? Well, you also have the Death Metal Fridge. I could look at that maybe. What about Elysium LR300? Okay, sure, let's go do that then. So let's just go look at some previous weeks over to here. I am comparing to previous week's Rust Doors, and what do we see? That did just under 9,000 subscribers. And if I go to this week over here, we have that just about going over 9,000 subscribers. You know what? 9 to 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, that seems like a perfectly reasonable suggestion. It's not going to help it regardless. That's still going to go down in price. I'm so sorry, but I've seen this happen so many times in the past. Like, when you see it happen once, all right, okay, well, we still need to see it happen more times to, feel reassured it's likely to happen again. But with wooden doors, I've seen it happen about 20 times. So I'm sorry, but I'm staying away. That's not something I want to jump onto in terms of as an investment. And that is the only skin that's not abnormal this week, isn't it? Yep. So, okay, fair enough. So overall, things are looking pretty cool. Garage door, not sure. Locker, things are looking pretty good. So yeah, overall, it's a pretty straightforward video. Cool, that was only 15 minutes. We do have some extra things to talk about. But yeah, honestly, still stand by the point I made. All these skins are still likely to go below the Rust price. But that locker, I think it might just hold up regardless. So, okay, looking pretty cool. Let's now talk about some other things, like Easter. So I mentioned this, and here we are. So I do believe all the skins need to be submitted as of this night. So by the time you're watching this video, you should go ahead and look at this whole collection. I don't know how many they're going to be, but I am pretty sure that if I just go over to here, there we go, refresh, do we see any more? Oh, there you go, there's a few. What is that? Oh my, okay, I'm just saying, but I kind of like that one. Okay, yep, okay, fair enough, Mr. Roger, see, you got a laugh out of me, I want it. So, will we pray for, what was it called again? Rooster Poncho and what was it? Mask. So that's a disco mask, isn't it? Yeah. But Easter bunny slippers or hide shoes. You know what? We haven't had any hide shoes for a while. That's a pretty good shout. So overall, yep, loads of cool looking Easter skins. But you can always look at micro522.com as well. So with a quick look in the description, you'll see the link right there. And you can see all the new skins that have been submitted immediately based on overall score. So that's basically upvotes versus downvotes and favourites and whatnot. And if I were to just hover to here, Easter Chick Rock, Bunny from Hell, Sheep Matador, Carrot Combat Knife, Hrum, Python, Easter Painting AK-47. Like by the time you're watching this video, this would have changed because more people have looked at the skins and voted yes or no. So, okay, cool. That's up to you. But yeah, all the Easter skins should be submitted by then. And we'll see what happens next. But what I can confirm to you is it really does look like the next Rust Door is going to be an Easter Rust Door. And the Rust Door after that, yep, week 2. Will we get a third week's Rust Door for Easter? I don't know. But I know, at the very least, the actual update is going through next week. So things are looking pretty sweet. Things are looking pretty cool. But Easter skins in general, they are not good investments. So you should definitely approach everything with the idea of, okay, maybe I'm just going to save some money. Or maybe I'm just going to approach it with a buy order. That is usually how it goes because Easter skins just do not hold up very nicely. And if you want to kind of get a nice little insight in regards to that, go to the main page on SMM.app in the store section, go to the top right here, see this little time notch, and then just go to previous Easter Rust Tours. And you tell me, how many of those Easter skins are currently holding up quite nicely at the moment? That is because that was a very cool, unique looking hammer. And I can sit here and confirm to you that he does have a collection continuation. Say hello to Easter Chick Fridge. I told you there'd be a lot more Easter fridges being produced. I want it. So yeah, there's that, a little showcase of that. What about Easter 2021? There you go, we'll go do that. So going all the way over to here, Easter. I completely forgot when Easter was for this year. Here you are. And well, the carrot nut, you know what, in all fairness, that's cool. Don't get that many bone knife skins anymore. But then you look at all the other skins. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, maybe one might work out quite nicely in one of these Rust Doors here and there. But the rest of the skins, ooh. So yeah, people don't really care enough about Easter-related skins and whatnot. Fair enough, point made. Now, in regards to some other information I should pass on, don't forget to keep an eye out on the commits. So, Easter event 2025, we already knew about that. But moving on over to here, apparently a new menu's being worked on. Okay, I mean, sure. And over to here, well, I did anticipate this. I talked about this in my Rust rotation video and my predictions video. Based on the information we know about this Aztec AK-47, I was like, hang on a minute. Is this like the primitive game mode and the medieval AK? Yeah, it looks like that is the case. So some sort of special DLC pack will be released with the jungle update. What's looking like it's going to be added with this? The obsidian knife. So we're getting some sort of special knife. I'm not sure if it's going to be a combat knife. Didn't we just have one for the Abyss? Yes, the Abyss DLC. So maybe it's another combat knife or a bone knife. We don't fully know as of yet. But it looks like a brand new pack. It's going to be nice and prepared. Are we going to get that building skin in here as well? There's a jungle building skin that was mentioned in the past. We'll see. But yeah, looks like a brand new DLC is on the horizon, especially with the jungle update. So cool. Is it going to come out for May time? I don't know. We did peak up to 187,000 people tonight, so you know, it doesn't really compare to the previous months, but it's still very good. That's the best we've ever seen for an April ever since, well, ever. So cool, point made. Things are kind of rolling as expected, but once we reach May time, I hope things improve quite nicely. That's a nice sort of thing to say, I guess you could say. But you can understand what I'm saying. We're getting past March and April. We're going through May next. And then we should start notice prices improving quite nicely. When will they peak? Maybe it'll coincide with the jungle update. Maybe during the month that we've had the jungle update, because of course, like, maybe not everybody can get out of school just yet and whatnot. But yeah, overall things are looking very promising, and yeah, just overall it's okay. It's okay. And if you're worried about missing out, I mean, it really does look like it's just gonna be barders over the course of the rest of this month, perhaps. Unless we do have a different type of Rustor at the end of the month, but I'm still expecting potentially 3 weeks of Easter. We'll see. Just to quickly remind you, last year for week 2 of Easter, we had a very weird week 2 Easter Rustor. We had basically normal skins, a couple Easter skins, and then the special, items. So yeah. Also, horse costume and the brand new Rustor J egg. I believe the horse costume will also be $9.99. New Rustor J egg, probably like $5. That is to be expected. So if you are wanting to potentially buy those, make sure you've got enough wallet. Simple as. So overall, everything's pretty okay. I could look at the previous weeks ever so quickly. So over to here, we can see the previous week's skins still do not have their prices there. Just to remind you, this was a very delayed Rustor, so I guess SCMM doesn't really know how to deal with it. Bit awkward. But I can quickly look at the Secure AK-47, and I can confirm to you the lowest listing is $5, with barders going all the way up to $4.50. So yeah, that happened, yeah. Seems people do appreciate a pink AK with anime on it. Who'd have guessed? Give it another week, though. There will be more listings. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Like, people who bought the skin, if they're going to be told, oh, by the way, it's $6 in the Steam market right now, I wouldn't be surprised a lot of people will instantly try and get the quick profit. So with that, you're probably going to see more listings as time goes on. So just be a little bit prepared about that. We talked a lot about the B metal door, questioned it a lot. It's got transparency. It's not useful transparency because you've got to go like tiptoe and whatnot. Well, apparently it's listed at $5 with barders pushing up to $3+. What? Well, that happened. Sure, okay. Well, I guess people did appreciate the B design. Okay. I did not have a lot of faith because I just wasn't really sure, but apparently people don't care. So maybe I want to go through all these skins and consider doing some new buy orders. I'm just saying. Gunhouse Sheet Metal Double Door, how are you currently doing? You're also doing very nice, just over $3 at the moment in terms of listing. But remember, everything here could easily just switch around because more listings appear, all right? So it's looking good as of now, but people could easily just buy out. So just making a fuss about that. But with the barders that we saw there, well, it's looking pretty good. What about Tire Kilt? Oh, that's also at $3 and barders over $2. And you saw it at $2.49, right? Yep. So everything from the previous week looking pretty good. So all right, fair enough. Now let's go back for previous weeks and look at the prices. Señor Tomato Rock still slightly above its Rustor price. Beauty Industry Locker slightly below its Rustor price. Deep Ruby Crossbow is slightly down in price. Same to the Redemption L96. Tire Hide Clothing. Doing pretty good, fairly comfortably above its Rustor price. Ultramarine doing okay, retaining its value ever so nicely. Death Metal Fridge slightly down. The Fish Bucket Helmet has started to go down in price a little bit. And unfortunately, the Mini Copter Sap's gone down in price. I've ended up buying a bunch of them with my buy order. Whoops. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. And then over to here with the March 13, 2025 Rustor. The Arctic Backpack's doing okay. The MP5 here has gone down in price a bit, not ridiculously down, but it's gone down a fair bit. Blackstone Door, Rock, still down a fair bit. But yep, the gloves are doing all right. The garage door has gone down. Oh, wow, and you didn't even sell that much. So overall, not the best. And then Force Wipe Rustor, oh, that's doing all right. That's doing all right. And the boots and gloves are doing all right as well. Ultramarine, we've already talked about this. But that $4 AK, ooh, down 37%. Frog Fridge down slightly. And even the Fallen hoodie and pants have gone down a fair bit as well. That's a bit tragic. Oh dear. I think I bought those. So, yeah, everything's just moving on. So, let's hope everything works out nicely as we approach the summer. And with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to each and every single one of you. Enjoy your weekend. Catch you later.